Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Actually, Rakesh, I am stuck with installation of a VirtualBox. After installing this, I was getting like this control all relative. I am pressing it, it was applying to my own desktop, not the VirtualBox. Correct. Did you Google it? Even I am not aware how to enable the shortcut. I think just a minute. I will tell you. Actually, in the notes which is provided, it is given like after giving password and a logging in, we will get service manager, just something that's correct. But I didn't get that. You have to set up Active Directory. You are not able to log in right because you are not able to click. You are not able to see the home, a login page. I was stuck here. Can you click on this Windows Server 2019? Can you click on settings? Hi Rakesh, I joined late. Can you tell me what are you showing us? Sahajan, we are talking about this KD setup. She tried to set up Active Directory application. And Sahajan, you want to discuss on something, right? We can stay in the past 10 minutes. Let me know. Thank you. I think. Can you click on display? Somewhere here we have to enable remote display. Not this one recording. Better do one thing. You can shut down this machine. Shut down the Windows server. Meanwhile, I'll find the shortcut. How to enable. Sorry. Power off or a shutdown. Both works. It's fine. Power off the machine. Without AD, without onboarding AD application, we can't onboard LDAP also, right? While installing itself, you can Google it, how to set up LDAP. And now can you click on Write Control? Just go to VirtualBox. VirtualBox. Now you can start. Once it's up, you have to click on Write. Click Capture. Just a minute. Can you click on Right Click? Stop. Write Control. Stop. Write Control. You can press Host key combo anytime on Capture keyboard and mouse. Can you click on Root? Right Control and down arrow key. Capture, click on Capture. Now we are able to access mouse control. Now we need to enable menu. Normally before the menu has been up, like File, Cell, View everything. Correct. Now go to Use Share Down. Can you share your screen one last time? We have a user interface. And now go to your machine. VirtualBox, this one. Click on Settings. Go to Use, click on User Interface. This needs to be checked. Can you enable this check one? This checkbox. Not that one. Uncheck this. I am talking about this checkbox. Which one? I will not take. This one. Can you click on the input button? Now click save. Maybe now it should. Now it's appearing. Look at here. You can close this. Close this virtual box and minimize. Now you can log in. Thank you. Let's get started. In the last session, we were talking about policies, right? Do you guys have any question from that chapter? Any question, any clarification you guys require? I'm setting my screen. I'm getting this error when I'm trying to onboard this application. I created a task. You hear, the issue is attempt to resolve method set password. Method on I undefined variable or class. This is. We'll go to debug page. You are using. Which rule you are using? I didn't get a creation. But usually it should appear here, right? Creation rule not under correlation rule. Cor. First thing. Second. First we will check the rule which you are. You have created whether it has any error or not. We will check quickly. You can object identity set password. First name, last name. You are fetching from the username. We set the username also email. Everything looks good. Just copy this. We'll onboard this application once again. We'll create a creation rule. But if you are trying with SP demo, because in track application, we are having demo example come, you won't be able to perform correlation for track application. I put SP demo, not demo only, right? What I'm saying is in track application, if you want to define the correlation, you are going to rely on email attribute, email value, right? That's not an issue. Let's change it to any other value. Let me change it right away. Demo sample come. We have to uncheck this rule. Guys, I have some time today. Whatever doubts you have, try to get it clarified right away. I'm going to execute the task now. Here you have to understand two things. One technical part. Second, one business requirement. Now identity got created. All the identities are username, first name, last name, email defined. That means that's good that you resolve this. But on real time, how we should troubleshoot, and we should get idea that what are the points we should check. First, if you want to troubleshoot, you need to be more familiar with what is class, what is part. Review which method we are calling. You have to be good at in the coding part, right? We should know Java. We should know how to write a code everything. Or else, if you've got any issues sometimes, what will happen in real time? We will go to log file. We will capture the logs and we will prepare RC document. Then we will drive write. See, we will give it to developers. If you want to check actual log file, you can navigate to your application server, the logs folder. From here you can search. This logs get generated whenever we run the job or it's a daily basis. Whenever you are performing any activity, this log will be printed. Here just now you executed the task and you got this error. You can get the logs using timestamp at what time the task has been executed. In the evening also, you executed the same task. No 6 minutes back. 6 minutes back and then the earlier also. You can capture the logs from here. And this logs will be deleted also. Let's say every day it's generating the logs. In default in Sailpoint we can define. Every log file can have 10 MB file and save and can keep 10 files and log files. After that, the older logs will be deleted. Or else what you can do, you can archive also, right? Very frequently. Correct. You can write some PowerShip script, or you can automate some job where it will take all the log files. It will archive all the log files. We got it? But these logs can't be seen on the database level somewhere. Today, we are going to talk about birthright provisioning. First of all, what is provisioning? Any one of you? Provisioning is like creating the identity in the target applications. Is it only creation? Account creation and assigning the rules. You mean creating the account, along with that providing the necessary permission. Adding permission, removing permission. It's provisioning, right? Are we supposed to perform only upon creation, adding permission, removing permission? Do we have any other activity needs to perform as part of provisioning? Any one of you? We are responsible to delete an account, right? If account got logged out, we have to enable that account. Sometimes we need to disable account. Is that right? Provisioning is all about performing all other activities. Use your data sync as well as log the password also. You know provisioning. What is birthright provisioning? Birthright provisioning means that get the basic access right on this system. Like that, Outlook Teams these things also. Which means whenever there is a new joining, we have to ensure all the necessary application. Access needs to be given right, without any manual intervention. That's what birthright provisioning means. Once user joined, we can ask the user to submit request. There is nothing wrong. But in this scenario, once user joined an organization, user has to submit request manually. That request will go for certain level of approval. Is that right? But if you want to automate this entire process, that's what birthright provisioning. Without any manual intervention, if we decided to provide all the necessary application access, the main condition is as per their rules and responsibility. That's what birthright provisioning. Tool here, it's fine. Today we are going to talk about the very major chapter and very important chapter. After that, everything is very small. When it comes to birth rate provisioning, we have two approaches. B. Other one is, I would say, event. You guys are familiar with access request. After that, it requires certain level of approval. Once approvals are in place, access will be granted. Again, it depends on the application. If it is a connected application, Sailpoint will provision automatically. If it is a non-conforming or disconnected application, then work item will be generated. And I hope you guys are very clear on this. Already we covered. We talked about a lot of times. Today we are going to talk about birth rate provisioning. Birth rate provisioning can be implemented in two approaches. Using two approaches. Any one of these approaches. B से B से. Other one is E1. What is ABCB? India. RBAC is role-based access and at root-based level access. Event means leave a join, a move. These are things. Role-based like job means what are the job person is going to do. Based on that, certain defined access need to be given in the connected applications. What about the connection application then? Whatever you said, it's right. RBA fee means the Sailpoint will ensure access will be granted based on the day-to-day active. I would say roles and responsibility. Correct. Maybe if user is a developer, then the developer required application access needs to be given. If user is a project manager, if user is a QA engineer, as per their roles and responsibility, I would call it as job title or I would say nature of job. As per nature of job, if Sailpoint is going to provide access, that's what RBA. Role-based access control. Here we are not referring any of the business role, IT role, nothing. Access will be granted as per their nature of job. Got? Then what is ABA? ABAC means attribute-based access control. What does it mean? Many times, like if user has certain attributes, then they need certain access. For example, let's say user has the country attributes. Country attribute is changing that we need to change the access. Maybe he's doing the same job like he's just executive for the India. Now he's moving to the US. Here the job role will remain the same, but the attribute is getting changed. That is the country. In this case, access can be updated. That could be the attribute-based access. But you are talking about for the existing user, right? The user is existing, his country value got changed. We can consider that scenario as well. Let's say we have a new joining. We need to provide access based on their department. We are not going to depend on their nature of job. If user is going to join finance department and account receivable department, accounts payable department, then the set of, I would say the list of access needs to be given automatically. That we can consider as ABC. It's pretty simple as far as in, because in real time it may be mix of both also. We cannot determine easily, but always remember if you are going to provide access. Depends on the nature of job, like job title or role of the user. Then we can consider as a ABC. Other than job title, nature of job, if you are going to provide access using other criteria like department, location, region. In such scenarios, we can call it as ABC. I hope you guys are clear. What is ABAC? Now I am going to demonstrate what is ABAC ABC. Before that, I will watch you through it. We are talking about if you want to set up this R by K pack, first you have to ensure how to create a business role, IT role, basically how to set a business role and underlying IT role, entitlement, everything. Because if you use it as a developer, then we can create a business role for developer role. And then we can create IT roles and we can aggregate the entitlement. We can combine everything all together. Then, second step, we have to assign the condition. The condition means if user job title is equal to project manager, if job title is equal to developer, then the business role needs to be assigned automatically for the new joining. How do we configure this? Now let's learn that. First, I'm going to choose a business role. Go to Setup Roles. Let me select. Accounts Payable is one of the business role. This business role is having 3 entitlement AD, Prism Lower Back Connector. Account Receivable is the right choice. Because account receivable business role is having one IT role and that particular IT role is having multiple entitlement from different application, Prism AD PeopleSoft Low-Back Connector at least 4 application. Now we are going to where the business role is set up perfectly. Now I'm going to add the condition. Just open the business role. When we were taking session on how to create business role, we said this assignment role will be discussed in the RBAC chapter, right? And apart from that, you know what is required role, permitted role, inherited role, everything. Using this assignment role, you can use match list and you can define the condition. By default, it will look like this. Now I'm going to add the condition. But any new joining, if job title is equal to procurement manager, then this business role needs to be assigned automatic. I'm going to have this condition here. Job title should equal to procurement manager. We define this condition. If you are going to assign this condition, this is what our baby. Other than this condition, if you are going to have department or location or region, let's say department is equal to finance. If user belongs to finance department and if user type is full-time employee, then it's called ABAC. Now I'm going to group them together. This is RB. This is AB. I hope you guys are clear. In some MNCs, I have seen these two conditions also could be considered as RBAC. But it depends on their process. We cannot say anything. If we are saying this attribute, we have to choose for RBAC. We have to blindly follow. Now I'm going to consider only job title attribute. And I'm going to save this. Business role has already been set up. And we are seeing the condition. The condition is the job title should be equal to procurement manager. What will be the next step? As in I'm going to add a new user information. There is a new joining. In the HR system, I'm going to update new join information. Let's say the username is Kumar Raja. As an HR, I have updated his employee ID. First name, last name, full name. First name, last name, full name. We have to ask to load this user to the identity to a Sailpoint. Look at the Sailpoint, the Kumar identity is not exist. Correct. Let me check in Active Directory application as well. And here you could see it's a Prism application. The account receivable business role will ensure user will get poor application access at the end, right? If the condition matches, user is going to get loopback connector application to entitlement, 1 from PeopleSub, 2 from AD, 1 from Prism. I could see in Prism application Kumar Raja is not there, right? And we are having only 12 accounts. Now in Sailpoint also, we don't have identity. Now, what will be the next step? We have to execute the task. That's right. But who will perform this activity in real time? Is it a manual task or automated task? I mean, this job needs to be run by manually or automatically. Anyone should be scheduled on, right? Yes, and 100% it's going to be scheduled task. HR account aggregation. All the critical application will be scheduled. That the task can be executed whenever the time arrives. But now I'm going to execute this task, people, for a demonstration purpose. Obviously, identity will be created, right? One identity got created. Identity name is Kumar Raja. That's it. Now we can go ahead and check identity got created. Kumar Raja, job title is Procurement Manager. The condition matches right. The conditions are now obvious. Obviously, users should have get the rules, entitlement, everything right. Application accounts, but the user didn't receive why? User didn't receive the required access. Any Kumar Raja is not there in Active Directory application. Whenever identity is going to create, Sailpoint will refresh that identity. The moment Sailpoint is going to refresh this identity, but again it will happen automatically. We are not going to execute or perform any manual intervention here. The task name is refresh identity queue. This task will ensure all the identity will be refreshed. But due to time constant, I'm going to refresh only one identity or Kumar Raja. And whenever Sailpoint is going to refresh all the identity, we have to ensure these two arguments needs to be checked. These two arguments are related to our a back all provisioning related activity. And these process even needs to be unchecked because this is related to even because birth rate provisioning can be achieved using two approach, right? One is ABAC, other one is even. Now we disable this checkbox. If you want, if you need, then you can create two tasks. One is for refresh identity queue with events. Without events, something like you can create. Now I am going to refresh only one identity and we'll see what will happen. Refresh, the one identity has been refreshed. One workflow has been launched. Now that one's workflow has been launched, it requires some manual intervention only on my system. In real time, we don't require any manual intervention. In my system, I set up Active Directory in such a way. It requires form always. The form needs to be filled to create an account. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to complete this form. You can exclude this step when you're explaining in the interviews. When it comes to birthright provisioning, we don't require any manual intervention unless it's a non-conforming application. I guess, do you need to give the DIN and name on same account name here? Already, I have written some automation rule here that the DIN and value everything will be fetched automatically. What do we need to check? Look at the account ID, first name, last name. Everything is fetching automatically, right? With regard in that scenario, I guess one question for me, if like that AD have the multiple OU, like that sale finance according to user of the finance, should we move to automatically the finance OU as well? We have to define everything in the application level itself, where the account needs to be created. Under which OU, which domain, everything. I will show you. You can remind me. Now the manual intervention is completed. Just go ahead and refresh. The workflow would have been completed. The workflow case. It's done. Now go to user profile and ship. User would have get all these access. Account receivable role has been added. User is getting to entitlement from AD application. 2 from loopback connector, 1 from Prism. Go to application account. User is having 4 application access. Right. But you could see here, as per the business role, the role name is account receivable. The account receivable is having entitlement from different application. Why PeopleSoft application entitlement is not added here? What is the reason? This HMS entitlement 10 should have been added, right? User is having AD loopback connector, Prism PeopleSoft. It's good. All 4 application access has been given except this one entitlement. MS entitlement 10. Why it's not added? Because it's a non-conforming application access. Right. We can go to gear icon admin console. Go to provisioning. Here you could see for Kumar Raja Sailpoint, try to perform these many operations. Right. We can go to the PISM application. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Now it's time to check the target application. Now I'm going to check in PISM application first. Initially we had 12 accounts. Now I could see Kumar Raja account has been created in the PISM application, including super entitlement. Account has been created. Now I'm going to check in the Active Directory application. When we checked last time, no account exists. Now I'm going to refresh. Account got created. And we could see entitlement also has been added, DNS admin, domain admin. DNS admin, domain admin, both entitlement has been added. Now it's time to check Loopback Connector entitlement. Loopback Connector application entitlement. You know what is Loopback Connector application? Go to user rights. Here I could see one entitlement has been added, identity request administrator and user is part of one work group, also InfoSec admin. The same you can confirm from here. InfoSec admin is a work group. Identity request administrator is a capability. Take point entitlement list, which means whatever we assigned in the role, all these access has been granted automatically. This is what ABK Big C. Any question? Why is the authoritative application is not added to this account? I mean the identity. I didn't get it. Why the entitlement is not added? No. HRMS is the authoritative application for the identity right. I'm not able to see the HRMS account attached to this identity. No, here people's application is the HRMS application right. Here people's application. Alright. Got. We can consider people's application. Microsoft as a non-conforming application because we are using the limited file connector right. Prism default. It's non-conforming, but I made it as a conforming application. Loopback connector and Active Directory by default. It's a conforming application. That's it. Once we set up this role, this will be applicable for the existing users as well, or no, not for existing users. No. If you are going to refresh all the identity, yes, it may apply for existing user as well. Can you try to do it from your end? Because it's been a while for May 99%. It should add for existing user as well. And what is the role or contradicting to each other? Contradicting to each other means, if it is attracting a violation or something. In such scenarios, access won't be provided. That will be logged somewhere, Rakesh, because it will be a mass refresh, right? For the existing users. Correct. We won't implement. No, in real time, let's say in maximum, I have seen 500,000 user between 5 lakh identity. And still, 5 lakh identities will be refreshed. It will take 20 to 30 hours. And the task will be executed on alternative days. O and R by K by can be implemented in mid-size environment. I use mid-size organization not for large amounts. It's very easy to set up also. Correct. Let's say, imagine you are having 1,000 different job titles, job roles. Do you think is it possible to implement this R by K by? It's difficult. This method would be preferred for micro, small, medium enterprise. Got it. If we are having 5 lakh users file, not identities for them, it's not possible to. Let's talk about event. What is event? And what type of events we have in Sailpoint or in TM? I hope you guys would have heard JML and all right. First of all, let me clarify. Chandan, Janvi, Kumar, Raja, Rajesh, Reema, you guys are clear. Saujanya Sabar. You need a practice. I understood, but theoretically and demonstration wise, you are clear, right? Then now let's talk about event. Whenever we are going to configure LCM event, we have to ensure workflow needs to be there. And workflow will be built by the developers. We don't have any other choice. RB's ABC can be implemented without developers. But when it comes to event LCMN event, lifecycle manager event, we require a developer to build all type of workflow. And when it comes to event, we have different type of events. I know who are. We have it and all, but the most common event, I would say JML. Again, this event will help us to ensure user will get the birthright provisioning, which means joiner event. If there is a new joining and if we have a list of access needs to be given for new joining, we can do it with the help of workflow. Then what is mover event? Let's say we have an existing user who's going to move from one job title, one role to another role. Maybe he got promoted. Maybe user is moving from one department to another department. Your actual requirement will be the existing access needs to be removed and the new additional access needs to be added. In that transition with the user may have some common application. That activity will be taken care of by mover event. Weaver even. Let's say if user decided to leave an organization, obviously he will inform his manager and manager will communicate the same to the HR team. And HR team will update user, last date or identity status will be changed. Something will happen in their system. Then these changes will be reflected in Sailpoint via aggregation. Then what will happen? Level identity will be executed. Level event will ensure all of the user access will be removed from Sailpoint as well as in the target application. Lever event will ensure all of his access needs to be removed technically. But here we have some exceptions, not all of the occasion. The exception application, I use Active Directory. Because there are chances user may rejoin the organization. If user is going to rejoin, we will ensure user can have his same email ID, same employee number, same path, SharePoint, same folder, access management, everything user can have. Because of that reason, we will keep Active Directory account in a visible state. We won't delete the account directly. We have to understand these things. On user last day, Active Directory account will be disabled, not deleted. And maybe day 5. After day 5 or day 10, all the entitlements will be removed basically. On day 60th or day 90th, account will be deleted. If user is going to rejoin the organization within 60 days, user account, the Active Directory account can be enabled. Because of that reason, we won't delete this Active Directory. That's one of the exceptions what we have. And I have noted in all the MLC organizations. I hope you guys understood what is JML. Any question? Rakesh, just 1 point. Perfect, Rakesh. 1 point is a long life where the employee has not left, but is it definite or really long life maternity or something where you want to protect the access and where you want to disable or something. If you can also touch upon you based on your experience, how do you deal? The level even be triggered based on some identity. Let's take an example. We have an attribute called identity status. If identity status is active, then all the access will be given, right? Similarly, if identity status is withdrawn, which means user already left an organization, all of his access will be deleted. Correct. If I'm going to make it as a disabled, identity status is not active or inactive or disabled, something like that. In such scenarios, access won't be removed for 365 days because if user is going for a maternity leave or some kind of thing, access won't be removed. You got it? In between active and withdrawn, we will have one more value. It may be disabled. It may be inactive, something like that. In such a scenario for lady, or is it for all other application, all other applications. When you're talking about hundreds of applications, all of them may not facilitate this disability. Of course, 80 is fine, but it's either on or off, right? There could not be anything like in between disable or something like that. Some of them may support, some of them may not support. If that being the case, how do we handle all other application access? You're talking about all the business application, right? Target application. We don't remove any of the application automatically. The application side itself account will be logged out. And in the next aggregation, all the application will be stayed as in a disabled state. Sailpoint won't trigger any event to remove the access. If user is going for a long lead, we won't trigger any, even basically. But automatically the account will be disabled. Account will be in a disabled state. Got? How does that happen now? Every application will have their own policies. If user is not going to log in for 90 days, 60 days, account automatically will be disabled, which means account status will be changed. The application will take care. Is it what you're saying? Correct. In Active Directory application also, we are having the same feature. If user is not going to log in for like 90 days, account will be automatically logged out. If you want to take care of this activity from Sailpoint, again we have that feature. If it is a confirming application, Sailpoint can do that as well. But you have to check with your business client whether this feature needs to be enabled from Sailpoint or it can be taken care by the application team itself. The problem is when there are hundreds of applications. But let's go hard. Let's go hard. But you got it right. Got? What is the real event then? User left an organization today. And if user is going to rejoin within 60 days, 90 days within the time frame, then first the real event will check user is adding Active Directory account or not. If Active Directory account is there, then Active Directory account status will be changed from disabled to active. Then a joiner event similar to joiner event will be triggered. The workflow will be launched and it will ensure user will get all the joiner application access. If Active Directory account is not there, then all the required similar to joiner event only will be triggered. It will create Active Directory account. That's what real event. Then what is manager transfer? Manager transfer means, let's say your new manager has been updated in the system in the HR application. It will update in Sailpoint as well. Once your new manager has been updated, event will be triggered and the new manager is responsible to review all of your application access. That's what manager transfer. Then what is in CD? NED. What is CD? Native change selection. Imagine a scenario. You need a privileged access. You submitted a request from Sailpoint. I'll write a diagram. See, this is Sailpoint and this is target end. From Sailpoint, you submitted a request. Your manager denied that because the requested item is privileged access. Your manager denied. What will happen in that scenario? You cannot get the access right. But knowingly or unknowingly, I mean purposefully, you are trying to approach application team. An application team provided the privileged access from their end. What will happen in the next aggregation? Sailpoint will deduct right. Is that right? The approach. And in between, let's say for audit team comes and asking for an evidence. How come the user is having this privileged access? What will happen? Do you have any evidence to show them? In Sailpoint, we have evidence. The access request has been submitted but manager denies. But unfortunately, the user is having the privileged access. What will happen in the next scenario? What will happen? How do we handle these kinds of scenarios? We can handle with the help of NCD. Let's say in Sailpoint, if I'm going to enable this NCD native change detection, what will happen? Whatever changes has been done in the target system. And if you don't have any evidence or anything, Sailpoint will escalate to users manager, or maybe Sailpoint can initiate provisioning transaction to remove the access. We can implement these kinds of features using NCD. I will demonstrate that scenario. That's what NCD. Whatever changes has been done in the target system without having an access request or anything, Sailpoint can take care of those activities. That's what NCD. If you want, I hope you guys are clear about all type of events. If yes, then we can talk about how to set up this event. Then I will demonstrate this. If you want to set up any event first, you have to ensure the event workflow needs to be created by the developers. First step. Second, you can navigate to set up lifecycle event. Then click on Add New Lifecycle Event. Now let's take an example. This is joiner event. When this joiner event will be triggered, how Sailpoint will come to know this event needs to be triggered once identity got created, right? Correct. We can select event type should be created. Once identity got created, this event will be triggered. Once this event is going to be triggered, this business process will be launched. Business process is nothing. Whatever workflow we are going to select from here, the workflow will be launched and accessed. Whatever access we define under this workflow, it will be provisioned. And this workflow, this event is applicable for all type of identities, or do we have any criteria? No, this event should be applicable only for full-time employee or contractors, something like that. Got it. We have to. And if event is disabled, then it cannot be triggered. Event has to be active, and we won't use this threshold type, and threshold we can skip as of now. Event type all this, it should be created. Can't be used any other event type. If identity is going to be a joiner, event needs to be triggered. That's one of the criteria. It should be single one, I think. We can use rule also. Whenever the rule condition is going to be match. Whenever the rule condition is going to be match, this event can be triggered. What if this joiner notification means how it works? No, they name it as a joiner notification. It's a custom rule. Sorry, custom rule. Got what we can do? We can compare the date. If user joining date and current date both are same, then event can be triggered, right? Got. Imagine we are having an attribute called user start date. Here we are having attribute called user start date. If user start date and the current date to today's date both are equal, then this event can be triggered. In such scenarios, rule can be utilized. Now let's talk about leave a event. When leave, a event will be triggered whenever user is going to leave an organization. How come? It will be notified in Sailpoint because of attribute change. Let's say when identity status is going to change for any identity from active to withdrawn. This leave, an event workflow needs to be launched. First event will be triggered. Then workflow will be launched. This workflow will ensure all of user access will be removed. This is what leave a event. If we have an event and along with that attribute change, we can use rule also. Similarly, same rule. If current date and user last date both are equal, then leave a event can be triggered. Just one question on this rule, event type. What will be the return type for this rule? It will always be a map or... I didn't get your question coming. No, what will be the return type? What the rule will return? It will be one of the attributes. It depends on, it can be customized. Correct. It can be customized. Oh, got it? Sometimes people will say return equal to null, something you are seeing right. Return node. It's not the case. The data type can be customized. Correct. Now let's talk about more, even when more even field bit trigger. Whenever the attribute change again, it's going to happen. It could be job title. It could be department. It could be any other criteria. Let's say user is going to join from finance A to finance B. Then this even needs to be triggered and the respective workflow will be launched. And again, this workflow will be created by the developers. Rehire event. For rehire event, we don't have a dedicated event type. Always rehire will be triggered based on rule. And then NCD. For NCD, we have a dedicated native change event type. And for NCD, you have to follow one more step. When I'm performing NCD, just remind me, I'll talk about that as well. The respective workflow will be launched. First, we have to ensure event has to be set up. Now let me show you. In my system, I have configured one joiner event and I have a customized workflow joiner birthright A, D, which will ensure Active Directory application access will be granted automatically. Now the question is, how many of you know Java? Can you raise your hand? I know basic of the Java, not very much. I thought I can walk you through this workflow also. As of now, we can skip. If you guys are interested, let me know. We can take it separate. I'll walk you through at least. How can we configure? Now we need to go to the workflow as well. I'll walk you through issue. Now we have an event. Event is in active state. We have a custom workflow which will ensure Active Directory application access to the event. Now I'm going to add a new user as an agent. Let's say the username is Chandan Kumar. I'm going to check whether Chandan account exists in Active Directory application or not. Account is not there in AD application. The username is Chandan Kumar. The user belongs to particular department, location, region. Everything is. That's it. We have added a new join in the HR system. What will be the next step? Any one of you quickly. The task will be executed, right? Aggregation. Once we aggregated the data, identity will be created. Identity got created. And then from our identity, it's done. But user didn't receive Active Directory application access. And I clicked on events. I could see no event has been triggered. What should we do? Reprise cube tasks. We need to check mark the trigger. Exactly. We have to refresh the identity. But before that, you have to understand one thing. For any event, it could be joiner, it could be mover, it could be lever. Once aggregation is completed, if it is joiner, obviously it's going to be HR application upon. But a mover lever, it's going to be HR application upon. When it comes to NCD, it can be applicable for any other target system, right? Target application. But technically, once aggregation is completed, trigger snapshot will be added for the respective identity. Now aggregation is completed, right? And I could see identity got created. Once aggregation complete, trying to open the identity from debug page, and we have to ensure. Why I'm explaining? Because if something gets stuck, you need to know how to go to identity profile and open the identity. Here you could see we have a trigger snapshot value. From line number 16 to 24, we have a value for trigger snapshot, right? This value has to be there inside trigger snapshot. If user is having trigger snapshot value and if you are going to refresh this identity, event will be triggered. That's the thumb rule. Now I'm going to refresh this identity. Again, I'm going to refresh only one identity, but this time these two arguments needs to be unchecked because this is related to RBC, ABC. Now I'm going to enable this process. Event checkbox. It will ensure event will be triggered. Always remember, if trigger snapshot value is there, then only event will be triggered or else event won't trigger. We know trigger snapshot value is there. We refresh the identity and event process. Now go to user profile, go to event staff. Here you could see at this timestamp join. An event has been triggered when user got refresh. The reason why event got triggered because identity got created. Along with that, one workflow has been launched. And this is what the description. Now once event trigger, what will happen? Just look at this thing. We have a trigger snapshot value. Now I'm going to refresh this identity and open that trigger snapshot value would have been removed, which clearly indicates once identity refresh, once event trigger snapshot value will be removed. We have to understand that the thumb rule. Now we can check the workflow status under task results. Look at here, the workflow is triggered. That's it. This is how event will be triggered. Any questions? What is the significance of having the trigger snapshot attribute? I mean, it says that there is a new identity created. Go ahead. I mean, it is part of the XML, right? It says the same point that there is an identity created and it has to be refreshed or something. Whenever identity created, that is, we have an event, right? There is a relation between aggregation and event. If event is active and once aggregation is done, that is automatically will be added. And this holds true for only joiner or for every event for mover lever we hire. Every event trigger snapshot will be there. Trigger snapshot value will be there. For lever event, trigger snapshot value will be different. For joiner, it was showing need to create process something right. For lever event in CD, it will be different. I will walk you through that as well. Now let's check what is the status of this workflow. Still, it's in a pending state. Now you know user is having only one application access. The user is going to get Active Directory application after this workflow complete. It will take a couple of minutes. Let it run. Rakesh, which method is preferred by the company's RBAC or joint event? If it is large enterprises, obviously they will go ahead with joiner event. Because when it comes to joiner event, there is no necessary of providing access. Depends on the role, right? We can create a workflow, couple of workflows, collect. The workflow itself it can handle. We can have multiple use condition. If user is a full-time employee or contractor. If user is a full-time employee, then the list of application access needs to be given something like that. Correct? We can say most of the company use the event provision. Correct? Event-based provision. Rakesh, like RBHC, which is the event provision. RBFE and RBHC both can be triggered or implemented in any landscape. In this scenario, you have faced that there has been cases has been implemented that one is trying to overlap another, or one is trying to lock the user, other is trying to unlock the user. And in this system, there is some deadlock or something happened. No, I never seen. You mean to say that RBHC and even Birthright? Because one might be trying to remove the user and the other trying to add the roles. And the same time, RBAC is trying to assign the same role. Something like that. Got. We will try to configure both in a such way. That should not be cross combination. It could be a design issue or that the developer has not done something wrong, but this is happening. Can you come again? The last sentence, what you just said. No, I'm saying, I'm not saying it's a product issue. I'm saying let's say there's a design issue. Like developer has designed something that whenever move or action will happen, then this role need to be removed. And again from the ABAC, the same role need to be assigned. That is why we are having two different tasks, right? One is refresh identity with even without even. You have to configure in such a way. Any one of these approach should be reflect for all the users. We are learning. I'm trying to demonstrate both in our body. We have process, even checkbox, but let's say a company want that RBAC and ABAC both should be there. Then we can implement right. Both the things also. We won't do that either RBC or ABAC. Then we have feedback, also policy-based access control. We will implement any one of these items. We won't implement everything. I got. Let's say user job title is equal to developer, but user department is equal to IT team. Correct. We have a business role, our job title, our role, developer role. Also, we have a business role. That would be cross combination. That's your question. The point. We'll try to provide both access, but from our end, we will try to configure in such a way. There should not be cross combination which my user cannot. We have to ensure user cannot get both access, or else maybe we can try to handle this scenario using policies, also SOD policies. But Rakesh, if there are contradictions, then it should attract violation, right? Instead of provisioning both accesses. No if, until unless you are not going to configure a policy, there won't be any policy violation with the policy has to be. Let's assume that we have such policy. In that case, it will be a violation only. Correct. It will be a violation. Then his manager has to decide which role needs to be given. Now joiner event has been completed successfully. Go to user profile and refresh. Now I could see Chandan Kumar got Active Directory application access and one entitled domain computers. I'm going to confirm the same in the target application as well. Now I'm going to create a home and I could see one entitlement has been added, domain computers, and done. That's it. This is how joiner event will be triggered in real time. Now I'm going to demonstrate leave a event as well. Go to lifecycle event. In my system, I have configured leave a room. When leave, an event will be triggered. Whenever the attribute change is going to happen, the attribute is identity status. The value is going to change from active to withdrawn. Then this workflow will be launched and it will ensure user will lose all of his access. And here I don't have any exception like Active Directory upon should not be deleted. Not like that. All the opponents will be deleted. I'm going to configure leave. I'm going to run leave a event for Kumar Raja because I know Kumar Raja is having. For application access, one role and couple of entire. As of now, the identity status is active. Obviously, Kumar will inform his manager. Manager will convey the same to HR team. Then for Kumar Raja, what will happen? The identity status will be changed from active to withdrawn. Is my screen visible? That's our sheet. What will be the next step? We are going to run the aggregation task, right? Yes. That is, status can be changed. So we will. Now I'm going to refresh this identity. Marar. We have to ensure the process even needs to be checked and execute the task. Go to task results. Open this identity. Here I could see event has been processed right. Oh, I forgot that. Just a minute, right? See, I made some mistake. Just a minute. Leave it as it is. Now I'm going to run the aggregation task once again. We don't have any trigger snapshot value. I should have run account aggregation task for HR system. Now aggregation is completed. For Kumar Raja, some changes has been there. Now go to user profile and check identity status. Now it's withdrawn. Once aggregation is completed, you can open the profile and you can check trigger. Snapshot value is there from line number 16 to 37 due to attribute change. Some attribute value got changed. Because of that reason, trigger snapshot has been added. Value has been added. Now I'm going to refresh the same identity. Kumar Raja, again process event has been checked. Execute. One event has been processed. Now go to user profile and check. I could see lever event has been triggered and one workflow has been launched. Now go to task results and check the status of the workflow. It's in the pending state. We require some manual intervention. Manual work item has been generated. Meanwhile, go to user profile and check. When we checked last time, user had 4 application accounts. Now user is having only one application. Go to entitlements. Here I could see all of the entitlement has been removed. Initially we had 5 to 6 entitlement, right? But the role is not removed yet. This is how lever event will be triggered. My question is why this PeopleSoft application account is not removed. Sailpoint should take initiate to remove this account as well. Why this PeopleSoft application access is not removed? Because the manual work item has been generated. And who will be owner? Barbara. Now go ahead and open the work item. Sailpoint through the work item to remove the access for Kumar Raja from PeopleSoft application. And Barbara is the application owner. This account needs to be deleted from PeopleSoft for Kumar Raja. Once they remove this account, they will complete this work item. Then in the next aggregation, this account also will be removed from here. Is that clear? How level event can be triggered? This is where the 2 weeks or 3 weeks you said is at where after. No. It's a non-configure. That AD will be on hold for 3 weeks. Yes, but I didn't configure anything over here. It's a simple lever event. Why this access is not removed? Because it's non-conforming application. Right. You could see the work item is there. And you can check the provisioning transaction also. Here I can admin console. Go to provisioning transaction. For Kumar Raja, the event is deleted. Lever event account needs to be deleted. Manual work item is generated. The work item needs to be complete. Then only access will be removed. Once access is removed, this business role also will be removed. Right. Sometimes sticky roles, sticky entitlement will be there. After removing this access, also the role will be there. How will you remove this sticky role, sticky entitlement? Just you have to refresh the identity. 1 sec. Just refresh that particular user. But you have to enable one with this argument. When it comes to sticky entitlement, sticky role, if you want to remove them, you have to select this checkbox. I don't want to trigger any event. And event will be triggered only when trigger snapshot value. No, nothing happened. Because this application first needs to be removed. Then only this role will be removed. But always remember the sticky role. Sticky entitlement can be removed by refreshing the identity. That's it. That's all about lever event as well. Any question? Rakesh on this line. Could you also clarify about this orphan account where the lever is, where some of the applications would still have active? Can you clarify on that, Orphan? Orphan account means account is there in a disabled state. It's pretty simple. Orphan account means account will be exist in the target system with a disabled state. That's what orphan account. Orphan account. That is orphan account. But as far as orphan identity means we have an identity without any application, which means application account is 0. Once we remove this people's account, let's see how it will be removed. Now work item got generated, you know, right? Now as an HR team, I'm going to remove this Kumar Raja account from here. I have removed this from the target system. What will happen? Any day? We will complete this work item as well. Correct. In the next application, we will. This will not be showing up. Correct. Access removed. Now I'm going to execute the task. But we have to ensure this disable deleted account. Sorry, detect deleted account. Sailpoint has to detect all the deleted accounts. That needs to be checked. The task could have been completed. One account being deleted, which is Kumar Raja. It's been removed. Now go to identity on Drupal. No application. We can consider Kumar Raja as the orphan identity. Got it? Is that clear? Now this role also needs to be removed, or else maybe compliance team may ask me, right? For a withdrawn identity, withdrawn user, we are having this role. Again, you have to refresh the identity manually. Because this is where we require Sailpoint engineers to perform this activity. Kumar Raja is the user. We have to enable only this checkbox. Execute this task. It's not removed. Sometimes it's not removing. What will you do? It's removed now. All the values got disappeared. Technically, it's orphan identity. It's been removed. Sometimes if it is not removed, then you have to remove forcefully from debug. That's all about lever event, guys. Any question? I won't take much time. In the next 5 minutes, I'll come in this session. I'll walk you through NCD also, that you can practice. If you want to configure NCD, go to Setup Lifecycle event. It's pretty simple. Native change reduction even needs to be mentioned. NCD event that is going to be native change. And what type of requirement we are having, we can configure in the workflow. Here we have out-of-the-box workflow. Everybody can access this workflow. We require manager approval for all the native changes. Whatever changes has been done in the target system. If your manager agreed to provide the approval, then Sailpoint will leave the access as it is. If manager is going to deny, then access will be removed. We define NCD, but on which application? That's very important. The NCD needs to be defined in the target application level. The first step, NCD event has been created. Setup. Second, and we are going to configure in the target application, which means for what type of operation NCD needs to be detected. For create account, delete account, modify the account. Whenever entire element is going to add remove, then NCD event needs to be removed. These two things are very important. Now, you know, we have a phone called Chandan Kumar, right? And then Kumar is having only one entire development. I'm going to open this account. Domain computer is having right. Now I'm going to add domain administrator and interview. Maybe Chandan has submitted a request. Is manager denied? He approached Active Directory team to add this entitlement. It's a privileged access domain admin. Active Directory team member has added this privileged access for Chandan Kumar. Now he's the administrator for any application, but technically Chandan Kumar don't have this domain administrator. Is that right? Chandan is having only domain computer entitlement, not domain administrator. That is having account. Now I'm going to open his profile from the debug page. Now which account aggregation I have to run? Sorry, which application aggregation I need to run? Chandan is not having any trigger snapshot value. Because snapshot is there, value is not there, right? Changes have been done in the AD application and we enable NCD only for AD application. Technically, Active Directory upon aggregation needs to be done. I'm going to run this code aggregation. Once this aggregation completed, what will happen? Writer snapshot should have been added. That domain account will be added to my user also in the Sailpoint. Chandan. First of all, the entitlement will be added. There is no doubt. It won't add. It's already added. It will reflect in your profile. Correct. Now it completed. Right? Now go to your user profile and refresh. Sailpoint will update your entitlement over here. Now Chandan is having domain admin entitlement. Right. But we don't have any evidence. Correct. Now I'm going to open debug. I'll navigate to debug page and I will open your profile, Chandan. When we checked last time, we don't have any through the snapshot value, but we are having value for native change. Correct. Native change detection for A, D application, your identity value operation is modified. And what is the difference? New value has been added. Domain administrator entitlement has been added. Correct. Old value user already having domain computer entitlement. Correct. Added value is there. Remote value is not there. This is what the difference. And the difference is available under NCD event. Technically, you will be the same. I have one question here, Rakesh. Go ahead. Let's say I have the domain. Chandan has the domain computers assigned in the through Sailpoint. It has been assigned in the AD. Then you have added the domain admin directly in the AD. Correct. Correct. Now let's say this is not a way to the Sailpoint. And then Sailpoint again try to add there are two cases. Sailpoint again try to add the domain admin. That's the first case. Or our Sailpoint try to again add the another, means it could be another A, D groups like a domain controller or something. Or a manager. But what will happen in the first case and what will happen in the second case? When Sailpoint try to add an entitlement, obviously Sailpoint has some transaction right. Some provisioning transaction. It could be batch request. It could be user submitted a request something. Some transactions are there safe and won't consider as a native change deduction. Native change reduction means save on deducted some changes in the target system. Initiate. The transaction is not initiated from Sailpoint. That's what NCD. I'm not talking about the NC and CB. This is already your screen, but I'm talking about in general scenario. Let's say the access is already assigned in the AD and the same access against Sailpoint tried to assign. In this case, it will be error in the job log or it will be just error will throw. You are ready. You are having domain computer entitlement right. Now for the same user, I'm being the submit request. Maybe your manager doesn't aware you are having this access. He tried to request for Chandan Kumar for domain computer entitlements. Search domain computers. The moment you are trying to add this access, it will throw an error. Who's there is already having access? No, I'm not talking about this one. Domain computer has been assigned is already available in the AD as well as in Sailpoint. But let's say I'm talking about domain admin, which was directly assigned in the AD and it was not the map. It didn't come to the Sailpoint now. And then my manager tried to add it. In that scenario, NCD won't trigger. Before aggregation, if your manager submitted a request, NCD won't trigger because Sailpoint has the evidence right. Point has access request and your access if and it must complete a provisioning state. It should be in a provisioning state. Then only NCD event won't trigger. Let's say your manager submitted a request and it's pending for approval from group owner or maybe application owner. But by the time now aggregation is completed, then NCD event will be triggered. Now here I could see NCD event is there. Technically, I'm going to remove this attribute change. We don't require this entry key because it's related to lever event. When, as a developer, when you are performing these scenarios, you can add this to the snapshot manually or there is nothing wrong. Now we have a trigger snapshot. I'm going to refresh this identity. What will happen? Lever event will be triggered. You can add this to the event. We have to execute the respective tasks. Every time we are not going to uncheck these tasks. Identity has been refreshed. One event has been processed. Go to Events tab. I could see native change deduction. Event has been triggered. Added value. Domain administrator. By the time now, work item would have been generated. Approval item. Because we require manager approval. Go to task results and check. Approval work item has been generated. We require manager approval now. Go to work item. We don't have much time. I'm going to delegate this work item to SP. Oh, it's already SP admin only. Now I'm going to approve. What will happen if I'm going to deny? What will happen? Approve means access will be there in the task. Right. But before that application got shut down, we have to launch the application once again. Now application is done. If I'm going to deny, basically access request will be submitted to remove the access. Got what I'm saying? Now I launch the application once again. Now let it complete. Anyhow, that's it for today, guys. That's all about Birthright provisioning. What will happen? What will happen now? Once I denied Sailpoint, will submitted a request to remove the access. Let me show you that. Let it complete. Meanwhile, it's getting completed. My question is not related to NCD. Basically, just a minute. Let me demonstrate. Then I can ask all the people to leave and you can ask your question. Now the event has been completed, right? The work item approved work item. Now go to access request and check. See for Chandan Kumar, the entire domain needs to be removed. Right? It's in the provisioning state. Go to user profile and check. Entitlement is not removed because the application is down. We can check the provisioning transaction. It should show retrieve. We retrieve one because the application is down. In the next 60 minutes, it will retrieve once. Got it? Connection timed out because application was down. How many retrieve will happen, Rakesh? Is it configurable? It's configurable. We have a workflow for that. How you have configured this NCD, Rakesh? Apart from enabling the checkbox, you have created one lifecycle event for the same. We created one lifecycle event for NCD. And we selected one out of the box. You select it as native change over there. That's it. I have one question. Like, let's say in this case, through Sailpoint, domain computer account access has been assigned to me in the UAD via Sailpoint. For domain, computer access is available in both the places. Now domain admin has been assigned directly in the AD. Now if we don't run the NCD, then this access will not come to the Sailpoint. This is not running Active Directory, application of account aggregation. Say I'm on data. That's true. That's true. Now and in real case also, I don't think that what to do in regular basis we run or it is automated process. What is the things for? Automatically the task will be executed because Active Directory is a critical application. It will be run on a daily basis. There is no doubt similar to HR application, Active Directory also will run on a daily basis because once you like a scheduling basis or it will automatically detect any changes in the AD and then run how it is work. Once you run the aggregation will be run whenever time arrives, right? Aggregation will run at let's say 5 o'clock in the evening. We are running, then 5 o'clock only even will be triggered 5, 5, 5, 10, 10. Correct. This access has been assigned in the morning 10 o'clock in the AD and then 5 o'clock. That aggregation will run. But meanwhile, does my manager also assign the same access to me in the Sailpoint? Your manager submitted a request in 10 a.m. Let's say in a minute. It's already assigned in the AD. It's already assigned in the AD. Then the point will say requested access has already been exist in the target system. Say one cannot add this access. That was got. And another point is that let's say forget about the domain admin and domain computer. Both are assigned in the AD, but domain computer is only available in the AD and Sailpoint. Both the places. Now my manager has another access domain manager. Then obviously a Sailpoint will try to assign this access to me in the AD system. But what will happen to domain admin which is assigned directly in the AD? Will it remove the same scenario? One will be provisioned, other one will be failed. One item will be provisioned. The role which is not exist in the active directory, it will be provisioned. The other item, user is already having, right? It will throw an error. I'm saying my question is different. It will only update the delta which is not there, or it will remove the access which is assigned directly in the lady also. Just a minute. I'll open this application. Then you can ask, maybe I didn't get your question. The last one. Go ahead. Now you are having this access. Now you can ask. Let's go to member of. Member of, I have domain computer and domain admin. Correct? Right. And let's add one more access. I'm going to add domain guest. I have added domain guest. That's fine. Now let's choose one in access that will assign. That is not part of all three. This will be another one, and that will try to assign from the Sailpoint. Right, not here. You mean to say user is going to request for a new entitlement? Correct. It will consider as a normal provisioning only. There is nothing to do with NCD or nothing. Right? But it will not remove all this. Domain guest. It won't remove. It won't remove. I see as a risk. Right. Because the Sailpoint won't remove. There is no doubt. Got. Thanks. Is there any way that can be configured that we can put a control that no one should get assigned any access in the target application? That's why we have policies, right? If you want to limit any user involvement in the target application, we can have these policies. Correct. Let's say you are saying this domain, admin, or any one of these entitlements should not be assigned to particular department, people or location people. Then you can create entitlement SOD policy, and you can go with advanced policy. This policy we can define in the Sailpoint only. Correct. But let's say AAD team is my friend and I'm asking them and they are assigning the access to me. Apart from NCD, we don't have any other choice. Apart from NCD, we don't have any other choice to detect those things. That is the confirmation I want. Because actually I've seen another ITM system. What they do? They remove the roles or access. They have the provision that we need to configure that one. They will remove all the access which is assigned directly in the system that the ITM will be the full owner. Whatever I am the boss, whatever I assign, that will be the main system. Other things I will remove. And you got an answer right. All of your question. I got the answer. Thanks, Rakesh. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.